Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Chemically Bonded. Stepping into the naturally lit candescence of the school gym, our footsteps echo quickly, percussion to a... I've forgotten this already. Slam of a door behind us. Slambile? I'm not too sure how to pronounce that. Basically, this is the gym. The tunes of a world playing as the sights surround us. Standard images of training club members' sports bags tossed haphazardly, of course, and the sprinkling of dust entrapped in sunlight. All topped off with the smell of sweat as the flag hangs proudly above. The sense of sporting pride being a hard-pressed thing to avoid. Sneaking a peek towards Kiyoko, the sense of fright stands crisp on her face. A quick look now becoming a concerned stare as she notices my gaze from the corner of her eye, her cheeks quickly glowing red in response. A pair of roses?
What's that look for?
I don't know. It just seems to be that, well, something happened on your face. My look? You're the one who looks like you've just wet yourself. Is something wrong? You didn't actually
No.
Not yet, anyways.
It's just...
Flashbacks.
I used to come here. Some of these people, they'll notice me.
A sullen look on her face, her own feelings of hesitance crossed the bridge between us, rising up the urge to make her smile once again, to be there for her. If it'd make you feel better, I can go get Naomi while you stay outside. I know it's hard for you.
I'll be fine. It should be okay.
Indeed, confront the problem rather than hide from it.
I want to see her.
Exactly. Determination flowing through her voice, Kiyoko takes a step ahead of me, continuing our walk towards the pack of students huddled to the side of the track. Her hair still flowing gracefully down her back as I trail behind her, a river of chocolate meandering down her athletic figure. The sight of her of new-found resolve, beautiful under the ambient sunlight.
What's she doing over there?
What do you mean? She's looking for you. Wait.
Ugh. Kiyoko!
Hello? Watching Kiyoko turn in her space, her hair twirling in the air around her as her face lights up in shock. I could swear I heard an "eh" from this distance. Perhaps shouting her name wasn't such a great... Yeah, exactly, because then everybody would turn around like... It's that girl. As Kiyoko runs back towards us, the eyes of the whole shift away from their own activities and towards the three of us. The two girls in the limelight and some unknown guy besides them.
Why are you over here?
Yeah.
I was getting changed.
Yes. Now foregoing her sweater, either trying to cool off or a half-assed attempt at getting dressed, Naomi stands with her eyes averted away. Her hair hanging gently beside her ears, glints of sweat gracing the crimson of her cheeks. The sight before me is nothing but beautiful. Her lip quivering as she bites against it gently, anticipating Kiyoko's response. Gosh. Annoyance, huh? Pouting, Naomi turns towards me sharply, her puffy cheeks quickly shifting into a look of annoyance as she wipes the sweat of her brow. A moment's hesitation as we stare towards one another. A brief moment to catch the look of resolve in the gems of her eyes. Lapis lazuli.
Get her to talk to me.
Kiyoko. I talked to her.
We should probably get going to the station.
Wow, you're right. A layer of ice still between them, yet the warm look of nervousness coating their faces don't make a dent to melt it. The reddish blush mutually between them as their eyes shy away from one another, falling to the floor as we begin tracing our way out of the gym. Steps still to take to restore the bond between them, yet the path seemingly short as the cool spring wind greets us. Stepping stones forward as the two people still move forward, their hearts resolved to make things right again. For the two girls. Come on, be happy. They're still awkward. Rocking across the rails, the train carriages slowly shake side to side, the clang of the wheels across the bare metal of the track below screaming out amidst the idle sound around us. Conversations of commuters calling out, taking up a space in the silence between the three of us. Kiyoko on one side, Naomi on the other, the three of us squeezed into the cramped carriage. A dream for most guys, sandwiched between two girls. Yeah, I imagine so. But in other places. Let alone having Naomi's neck brushing up against my shoulder. Okay. Now that I'm actually in this situation, it's not at all as great as I imagined. Yeah, the situation itself is a bit bleak.
Do you have any idea what we're going to do when we get there?
Absolutely. Suddenly speaking out, her words startled me out of my trace as I continue peering towards her. My own reaction changed to hers as she jumps back in fright. No, I don't.
I asked him earlier. He doesn't have any sense of organization.
Wow, thank you very much, Kiyoko, for the reinforcement. Turning towards Kiyoko, yet another reddened face. I speak out towards her. What do you have in mind, then?
I don't mind.
You're just going to go with the flow? Is that what it's going to be now, Kiyoko? Come on.
I'm just happy to be here.
Aww. Her eyes now on Naomi, the tension between them grows as the first sparks of conversation slowly warms the frost between them.
Me too.
So I'm guessing, yeah, and it all ends so suddenly. Damn it!
Still! You should have thought of something. Idiot.
I'm sorry, for once I agree with Naomi here. We should have thought of something, a plan. Why is it my fault? Don't you two remember what you used to do together?
He really is an idiot.
Hey, I am your idiots. Joining their passion of grilling me, their laughter echoes out around us, a force against the urban symphony as the train slowly screeches to a stop. The two of them join as we head to leave the train. There's always the cafe, you know. We're here.
Really though, what are we going to do?
Look, it's the city. There's so much that we can do, okay? Now, standing in what is, for all intents and purposes, the middle of nowhere, a slight breeze brushes past us, gently rocks Naomi's hair as each strand shimmers under the light. Kyoko is still looking downwards, unfazed as she twirls her own in her fingers. Let's go to the cafe.
There? Again? Can't you be a little more creative? Or fork out some money to take us somewhere better.
Do you really expect me to pay for you? What do you think this is, a date?
No.
She's right though. We always go to the cafe.
It's not like there's any... Look, you just gotta think outside the box, okay, MC? Where else in the city are there hotspots for us to hang out at?
Fine.
If I'm good at athletics and she's good at science, is being a dork your specialty?
Hey, if it wasn't for me, you would be here.
No. I was joking. Let's just go to the cafe.
Yeah, let's do that for a pleasant drink. A pleasant, non-alcoholic drink, mind you. Despite the suggestion being made on the fly, what with the cafe seeming like a second home now, the two girls take a place next to each other at a nearby sofa. Naomi's meek attempt at getting close to Kiyoko quickly shot down by a shy expression across the timid scientist's face. Seeing them so awkward is beyond adorable.
Ew!
Yeah?
Yeah. Ew.
What have I done now? What? Where do you want me to look?
I don't know. Just play with your phone or something.
Wow. Wow. And what are you two going to do? Yeah, exactly. You going to talk or...
We'll figure something out. That's what science is about.
Yeah, that's what chemistry is about. And unfortunately, at the moment, your chemistry between you two seems a little low. Really? Sitting there idly, no response in sight, The two girls sheepishly divert their eyes. Our orders quickly come in the midst of their bashfulness. Two coffees and a juice. I'm guessing this is mine then.
Hey!
Laughing aloud, a smile quickly creeps up upon Naomi's face, soon after followed by Kiyoko's. Both tranced in happiness as time continues to flow onward, but still no progress made so far. Memories of their past now becoming the status quo once again. Friends reunited. Reunited at all.
Are we really just going to stay here and drink coffee? That seems a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, I agree there. What do you mean?
She means we didn't come all this way just to sit down and talk. Aren't we supposed to be having fun?
Is there a cinema nearby? This is fun, right? No.
Let's go to the arcade.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion. That's a great suggestion. Taking the decision in her own hands, Naomi smiles cheekfully towards me. A total rejection of my plans. Were you gonna try and go home early then, mate? Yeah, by the look in Kiyoko's face, I couldn't say anyone has any complaints.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it sure does, Kiyoko. Stop smiling cheekily at me. In the end, as long as they're together, perhaps they'd be happy with doing anything. Mm-hmm. And here we are, with an interactive background. Greeted by the roaring sound of games machines, funky music and enthusiastic shouts as city-goers indulge in the atmosphere around us, the three of us find ourselves in a nearby arcade. The two girls lost in awe as they gaze around, wondering what to do as the flashy lights glitter in their eyes. A world of colour opened before them. So,
this is the place to have fun. Look!
in her usual bout of enthusiasm, Kiyoko points her arm out towards a nearby air hockey table, aglow with a neon blue trim as it flashes brightly in the distance. The scoreboard above almost begging us to play as the digits remain fixed in the otherwise active world surrounding it. It's not the sort of thing I would have expected her to enjoy, but then again, she's always been for the surprises. You do know only two of us can play, right? Why don't you two face each other?
I have a better idea.
And what would that be?
You versus us.
Isn't that a little unfair? Of course, with that smuggy look again, staring towards me smugly, the flashing lights around us glisten in her eyes, the air of competition surrounds her.
Well, it'd be rude to leave you out. Come on, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Are you afraid of getting your ass whooped by two girls?
Absolutely not. At the same time, I mean, yes.
Come on! This way we can all have fun.
Yeah, boy. Whether it'd be fun is another question, but at the end of the day, having them on the same team isn't a bad idea. Indeed, cooperation. To continue throwing logs on the fire that is their refound friendship, building up a sense of companionship can only be for the better. That and I'm quite good at air hockey too. There's fun in a challenge. Heck yeah. Guess what? Did they win?
Come on, we're almost there.
Almost. He's getting his ass whooped.
With the small plastic pucks sliding violently across the table, the scoreboard continues to flash in their favour as the gap between us grows ever so steeply. Come on, MC, this is your chance. Each blink of the light just another stab into my prior confidence. It's safe to say I was being cocky. The smiles on their faces beam with prowess as the timer counts down to my inevitable demise.
There! We won!
High five.
Their hands join in unison, smiles bloom upon their faces before quickly shifting to embarrassment as our eyes connect, their quick movement of embrace over ever so fast. Still, it's nice to see. You don't have to rub it in.
Of course we do. You'll get used to it.
Fine.
We make a great team.
We really do.
Even though you don't say that to one another. Seemingly enough, their past lives faded behind them as a new future awaits, their smiles glowing brighter than the flashing lights around them. Images of their happiness flash before me as they stand across the table, still relishing in their bliss of their win. Peering at the time on my phone, it's clear enough that we've been out for a while. Time really does fly when you're having fun. We should probably head home, it'll get dark soon.
Why does that matter?
Wouldn't your parents get worried about you?
My parents?
He's right. I can't miss dinner.
Mm-hmm. Taking Naomi's hand, Kiyoko skips forward to join me by my side, the three of us ready to put an end to what has been an enjoyable experience for us all. Let's go. Even though Naomi doesn't want to. Basking in the evening sunlight piercing the train windows, the usual commotion fills the atmosphere as Kiyoko and Naomi remains relaxed at my side. The two of them now together, stuck in a moment of silence as they both peer off in different directions. As her eyes wander around, Naomi's meet mine, a glimpse of sadness within them before her expression shifts to shock. Yes? Are you right?
I'm fine.
Are you sure about that? You sure?
Kiyoko, I have something I need to tell you.
Startled by Naomi's voice, Kiyoko breaks away from her trance and peers towards us. Embarrassment coating her cheeks with a crimson allure. Here we go.
I'm sorry.
Sadness overwhelmed. Is this the best place to do this, on a train where there's other people who can listen? Sadness overwhelms Naomi as her eyes begin to glint under the dimming evening light. Her brow now furrowed. The happiness she previously exhibited throughout the day is nowhere to be seen.
What?
You know what she's talking about, Kiyoko.
Don't pretend like you don't know. I'm sorry for not being there for you. I'm sorry for not trying harder to be your friend again. Today made me realize what I'd missed. How much I enjoy spending time with you. So, I'm sorry.
Turning my head to Kiyoko, silence spans the space surrounding us, before the sound of sniffles breaks the tension between us. A look of confusion quickly becoming engulfed in sorrow as tears stream down her pink cheeks.
It's really okay. I enjoy spending time with you too. Today has been fun.
Ah, tears of joy. Ah, watching the two of them like this, I can't help but feel a little emotional too. The bonds between their hearts, too strong to have ever been broken. Even after all this time, they're still friends.
I'm sorry too, for not understanding.
It's okay, really. It's my fault.
Watching a smile, with a smile, Naomi stands from her seat, a bait knocked off balance slightly by the rocking of the carriage. Kiyoko follows suit, the two of them staring blankly towards one another, before joining in an embrace, their hearts finally at ease. Watching on in silence, with two girls before me, I'd be lying if I didn't admit I've taken a liking to them, but I consider them a part of my school life. It's strange to think not so long ago, I was a complete stranger to the two of them. A classmate. Just another guy. Now, I'm privy to the emotional reunion of their hearts, the reaffirmation of their friendship. It's nice. Kiyoko, Naomi, together in their reignited friendship. And me. Three of us, heading back home under the blissful evening sunlight. It's an image I can cherish. As much as I don't want to break up your special moment, it's our stop. He's right. I can't miss dinner. Why is that a special quote? Here we are again. Here we are again in the class. Class continues as always. Monotonous lecturing from a teacher, the typical brick to the face of Monday mornings. An uninteresting, boring shatter of information tossed around the room. Some students diligently absorbing themselves in notes, others more apathetically scribbling down the occasional jolt as time continues to pass slowly. It's a shame the joys of the weekend are now behind me, yet all I can do is wallow in the thoughts of a better future. Just what is that future? With the notion of change all around me, Kiyoko Naomi. It's easy to say, I'm on a different path though, through school life, to where I was heading before. Have things really changed? My newfound ambition to solve the problems between two girls who were once strangers now past. The questions of future once again well in the depths of my mind. But should I really care? Ah, thanks for Friday. It's not like I did anything. It was good to see you having fun. Ah, as long as we're happy, the tides can take us wherever.
Something on your phone strike your funny bone?
No, not at all. What?
It must have been your reflection then.
As the class erupting into laughter, all I can do is return the teacher's irate stare as I continue to gaze at my phone. I guess now's the time you ask me to stand in the corridor for the rest of the lesson, huh?
You know me too well.
Yep. With nothing shy of a giggle escaping her mouth, Kiyoko freezes in shock as the teacher turns his stare to her.
I'll go outside too.
Yikes. Just what was so funny about me getting into trouble? It's not like it's a rare occurrence.
Because it is.
Wow. And you let it ruin your reputation as a diligent, well-behaved student.
So? Sometimes you have to have a little fun.
Hey. What if it was a science class? You wouldn't risk getting thrown out then.
Of course I would. You know I hate science class.
Science class, yes. Science, no.
I have a better time in the club anyway.
Aww.
Especially with you.
The blush coating her otherwise pale skin is enough to tug at her own heartstrings as she stares towards the ground sheepishly. But that's a given though, isn't it?
Of course.
Aw.
Anyway, speaking of science, I have an idea.
Yeah? Oh boy. And your idea is?
I want to invite Naomi to the club.
Hey, you do know Naomi's the captain of the athletics team, right? It's not like she doesn't. She was on it after all, but the question still stands.
I know, but she can always come sometimes. When she isn't busy.
Good idea, good idea. Frankly, after spending enough time with her, I don't really think Naomi actually does any club duties whatsoever. I don't see Kiyoko making a return there either. But it's not like anything is going to keep her away from science. I guess.
What do you mean, you guess?
Well, it's a scientific inkling to guess something. Well, you can give her a taste session, but she doesn't seem like the type to like science.
That's not the point, you dumbass.
I can see she's rubbing off on you.
Shut up!
You want to spend more time with her, right?
Yeah, that's obvious, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I just think it would be fun to have her there.
Yep. Moving her eyes towards the floor, the sight before me radiates cuteness as Kiyoko fiddles with her fingers. The essence of adorability packaged in the form of a short, science-loving girl. I'll ask her about it.
You will?
Yeah, of course. It's not like I don't want her at the club too, you know. Smiling softly, Kiyoko looks back towards me, a beautiful painting of joy in her eyes, the swirling of rosy shades against her cheeks, an adorable palette of cuteness, sorry. At the end of the day, having Naomi at the club really would be fun. It's not like Kiyoko can rejoin the athletics team. Besides her undying devotion to science, the scars of the past still dig deep into her heart. Even if they're slowly beginning to heal, it's not like it's something she wants to remember.
Thank you. We should probably get going to lunch.
Good idea. What? Why?
The bell just rang.
I must have missed it. Turning on her heel enough to toss around her hair beautifully through the air, Kiyoko takes one trot forward before stopping short as I rest my hand on her slender shoulder. Where are you going? The cafeteria is that way.
Who said I was going to lunch?
You did. Like a minute ago.
I'm going to the lab to study. Unlike you, I've come prepared.
Unzipping her bag gently, Kiyoko slides out a lunchbox from within a cute pink plastic box clenched by her oddly delicate... Okay, yeah, we've already been through this.
Lunch.
Despite an odd her own sense of organization, I can't help but wonder how Kiyoko managed to sneak her bag out without being noticed by the teacher.
Anyway, I'll see you later.
See ya. Noticing my hand still placed gently on her shoulder, I quickly pull my hand backwards as Kiyoko inches ahead. Stepping along diligently through the corridor towards the lab. Seeing her daily, it's hard not to now have a biased definition of what cute really is. Her chocolate hair brushing softly against her neck as it hangs down in her typical done-up do. I guess I should head to lunch too. Pushing open the doors to the cafeteria, the usual sight of crowds of fellow students queuing up for din-dins greets me as I too scout out some food. With a line of hot food ominously long, a quick rummage through my pockets is enough to switch my focus to the vending machines. Walking over, it's apparent that I'm not the only one impatient enough to skip out on having a proper meal. Is it, Naomi? As I get closer, a familiar set of flowing ebon hair ebon hair against an athletic figure stands out from the crowd. With her hand reaching up towards one of the buttons in a struggle, I can't help but laugh under my breath as I approach her from behind.
Why do they have to put these things so fucking high?
Okay, that's our first bit of language right there, Naomi. Stretching not only her fingers but body upwards towards the button, I take a quick glance at the label to find myself unsurprised. She wants those canonically unbranded chocolate-coated biscuit sticks again. Ignorant of my presence, I quickly tap a button with the power of height advantage bestowed upon me by the heavens. It couldn't be more true, mate. I am literally taller than 95% of other people. Having noticed this, it takes less than a moment for Naomi to turn around at record speed.
What do you think? Oh, it's just you.
Yeah, just me.
Still, what makes you think I need your help pressing a button?
You seem to notice that you are struggling to press that button due to a height deficit, so we just helped. But because you couldn't reach it?
You didn't even give me a chance to try, you ass.
I'm pretty sure I gave you more than enough time. I knew you wanted those biscuits anyway.
No, that wasn't aggressive enough. Anyway, how was your weekend?
Pretty spiff, thank you. That was a quick change of topic.
I'm just trying to make conversation. Jeez.
Alright. My weekend was fine. I heard you and Kiyoko had a good time, though.
You were there, idiots. But, yeah. We've been talking a bit more since then.
Mm-hmm. That's what you wanted, right?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you. Seeing that smile on her face, even if it's only faint, warms my heart. Knowing that they're both happy is a good feeling. Oh, and Kiyoko wanted you to join the science club too.
What?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Her response, shocked, is just as blunt as my delivery.
But I'm on the athletics team. The captain at that.
She doesn't expect you to quit, she just wants you to pop around the club sometimes, you know.
I mean, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It'll help make up for all the time you've missed together after school. All the time you've missed being in the same club. You know, you can even
Alright, I'll go.
It didn't take much convincing for her to give in.
Anyway, I really have to go. So,
See ya.
I'll see you later.
Beginning a somewhat slow walk for an athlete out of the canteen, Naomi's hair once again caresses her back as it flows smoothly down to the top of her waist. If she caught me looking at her like this, I don't really think she'd be all that happy. She will remember this. With the typical wave of relief washing over the class, lessons for the day end up as abruptly as they normally begin, with yet another quick outburst from the teacher.
You all know midterms are approaching. Just because you don't have homework doesn't mean you can slack off.
Yes, teacher. Yeah.
With grades like yours, I don't think you do. You're lucky class has ended. Otherwise your ass would be outside.
At least my unintended goal was saved by the chiming of the bell. With the teacher begrudgingly moving on with tidying his desk, I joined the trail of students heading out into the corridor.
Where do you think you're going? We have the club today, remember?
I'm going to the club, and we have club every day. Why would I forget?
Because you're a dumbass.
Oh right, I invited Naomi to the club.
You did? I mean, you did. Thank you.
Yeah, while you were studying in the labs, we did that.
You don't have to be so surprised.
Yeah. The nervousness on Kiyoko's face quickly shifts to a warm smile, soon to be reflected by Naomi. The two of them happy to be together once again, seemingly. Despite Naomi not having a care in the world about science, like us, it was clear from the get-go that she truly cares about Kiyoko. I couldn't care about science either, but as Naomi, I care about Kiyoko too. Together, side by side, the two girls step forward on our path towards the club, weaving through the swathes of students emerging from their respective classes. It must be a weird sight, two of the school's most famous students almost hand in hand with a lowlife like me trailing behind. It's nothing short of creepy to outside observers. Approaching the doors to the lab yet again, it's now so routine that the wave of deja vu hardly escapes me anymore.
Welcome to the club.
But it's still a pretty nice feeling.
You're really keen on making me a member, huh?
That's because only members are allowed inside.
But you let me in before.
That time doesn't count.
That time doesn't count because I was looking for something else. And what about when we have...
Class doesn't count either.
What's with that apathy towards science class? I can't help but feel I've struck a nerve. Proudly pouting towards me, her cheeks puffed out in a skewered display of dominance. It doesn't take long for her anger to quell before she turns back to Naomi.
Anyway, shall we head inside?
Sure. I'm not gonna resist becoming a member.
Heck yeah. Still yawning. Still, I don't really see her engaging much in the actual activities, besides sitting on the side like me and watching Kiyoko do whatever she actually does. Regardless, following them inside, I turned their duet into a trio as I shut the door behind me. The three of us now in our own little world. Engaging in chemistry. As expected, it wouldn't be the science club without a handful of Kiyoko's antics.
What does this thing do?
It's a conical flask. You put stuff in it.
And what about that thing?
Pointed to a small boxy device sat upon a nearby desk, Kiyoko's face lights up as she turns her face towards it.
centrifuge.
A centrifuge. Centrifuge.
What? Fridge?
No, fuge. How do I explain it?
Centrifuge.
It spins stuff.
Go by the look at her face, I don't think she understands. It's not like I can't feel her pain. Setting slowly in the distance behind panels in paned glass, the sun coats the room in a glow of amber as the evening quickly catches on. Kiyoko's face warmly lit before us as Naomi and I watch on, peering blissfully as she tiddles up a usual day's worth of fun. So, you enjoy the club?
What sort of question is that? Of course I enjoyed it. I'll just leave the science to her from now on. She knows what she's doing.
But it's still fun, right?
You think I'm going to say no after all I've been through to get here? All we've been through.
Yeah. Her smile, sun-kissed by the setting sun, is an infectious sight, one I can't help but turn. We turn our focus to Kiyoko just to see if she finishes up with her notes. A similar smile sits on her face, graced by the sunlight as her lips catch the evening rays. It's fascinating to watch her. It's fascinating to find myself liking her. I have a better time in the club anyway. Especially with you. Done like that. Done what?
She's done with her notes, idiot.
Do you always have to call me an idiot or a dumbass?
Yeah, idiot.
You don't have to join in. Letting out a laugh, Naomi's eyes are brought to tears as she wipes them away with nothing shy of a grin on her face. Kiyoko, caught by her outburst, smiles softly in the sunlight as she nettens a small stack of papers.
I guess you could say we're finished for the day. I'm glad you enjoyed the club.
I did. I had no idea what you were doing, but it was fun.
I'm glad.
Ah, Kiyoko looks shyly towards the floor, almost to distract us away from her embarrassed expression. Regardless, given the blossom of her cheeks, it's clear that she's enjoyed spending time with Naomi. I'm glad you two are getting along.
Of course we are. I didn't come all this way here for nothing.
You mean your club duties?
What do you think I meant?
Are you sure it's okay just to abandon your position as club captain? Don't you have stuff to do?
It'll work out, but you're right. People are probably looking for me. I should probably head back and sort some stuff out.
Yeah.
It was nice having you. You'll come again, right?
Of course. I'm a member after all.
With a smile, Kiyoko sees Naomi off as the two head towards the door. The evening light from the window keeping me company before she quickly heads back inside. So, you enjoyed it, right? Kiyoko ponders with her sight towards the floor, taking a moment to answer as she indulges in a brief moment of silence.
Of course.
Labeling theory. Resting her lab coat on a nearby chair, she moves to take a seat atop a small desk in the corner of the room. She looks sad. Is everything alright? Perched upon the desk, Kiyoko takes hold of her knee as a woeful expression coats her face. Almost basking in the silence, it takes her a while to respond as she looks towards the floor.
Things couldn't be better. Really.
Then what's wrong? I thought things went well today.
It did. It's not about that. It's just...
Just what?
You know about the labeling theory?
I'm not familiar. Holding herself tighter, Kiyoko adjusts her position on the desk, still keeping the same pensive look on her face. Her eyes glisten under the ambient light, a sign of her emotions coming to fruition.
People, they thought I was smart, gifted, reserved, and shy, but it's not really like that. I try my hardest. I'm just a normal girl.
With a clear strain to her voice, Kiyoko looks back towards the floor, her emotions continuing to grip her as she remains in thought. Despite what she says, it's not going to stop me from speaking up. No matter what other people see you as, you've always been Kiyoko Ishikawa to me. That's what I think is most important. Regardless of whether you're gifted or smart, I've enjoyed being friends with you for you. Everyone else is just missing out.
Friends.
Yeah.
There's something I need to tell you.
Yes? Looking back towards me, Kiyoko holds a timid expression. A rosy blush a blush coming from her cheeks as she stands from her position on the desk. It's clear that she's nervous.
It's best if I just say it, right?
Yep. Holding the look of conviction in her eyes, Kiyoko looks towards me yet again.
I like you! I've felt this way for a while.
With her feelings out in the open, I remain frozen in place. The gravity of the situation seeping into my mind as Kiyoko continues to talk, closing the gap between... Oh. But gravity is physics, though.
Sometimes, we have to adjust our personalities to appeal to those we want to be liked by. But with you, I haven't had to do that.
You can just be you.
Thinking about you, being with you,
Aww.
makes my heart race. Science can't explain that.
In reality, it's pretty easy to explain. She's in love. Yeah, it wouldn't be romantic to argue otherwise. There are some things that science can't explain, right? I think I'm in love too. I like you too, Kiyoko. Do I really need experiments and predictions to explain that? Thinking about it, the words were pretty easy to say. I like you. Coming here, I didn't expect to be making or receiving such a confession, but after all said and done, it now feels natural. As if this entire time there's always been a bond between us.
Really?
Her previous composure now fleeting, the cute and innocent Kiyoko now returns to the room as a deep red blush blossoms on her cheeks. Really? Really? It's a cute look, as if being treated to the sight of cherry blossoms for the second time this year. You. Aww.
I'm glad.
Stepping forward, Kiyoko takes me into her embrace. Her warmth quickly mixed with mine as the distance between our hearts continues to fleet. Taking a moment to revel in one another's presence, Kiyoko breathes against my neck. As my neck, her soft hair rubs against my cheeks. Her hold on me grows tighter, pushing her soft chest rub against my own. It's not something I'm going to complain about. Nah.
Until you came along, I was alone. Having you in my life has really made me happy.
Aww. Speaking with a strained voice, Kiyoko nuzzles into my neck. The damp feeling of her cheeks brushing against my skin, a clear sign she's been crying. You had Naomi though, right?
Don't ruin the moment. You know I meant in the club.
With her cheerful voice quickly returning to her, it's hard not to notice my heart beating away in my chest. I'm sure she feels the same. Well, that's true for me too. I didn't join the club for the science, and you know that.
Love is a science too. But this was my first experiment. I'm happy it was with you.
Aww. Breaking out of our embrace, Kiyoko holds an endearing smile as she looks back towards me with a blush.
really love you.
Aww. MC. Aww. Hearing those words is enough proof I found something through the afternoon spent in this dusty lab. From having found her alone not all that long ago, to being welcomed into her world. I'm happy. I'm glad I can be here for her.
Anyway, I guess we should start cleaning up, right?
What? Don't you want to talk about our feelings some more? Picking up on my teasing tone, Kiyoko smiles warmly in return.
We'll always have plenty of time for that.
Aww. We finished the club as always. Kiyoko put away her equipment and I did whatever I could to help. With such a normal routine, it's strange to think that we're now a couple. But I like it. We walked home together, and even though it was quite a detour to her house, every second was enjoyable. Our first stroll home as a couple. Things could only continue to get better. I really love you. Aww. Back at school. Heading out into the corridor, another day's worth of fun looms on the horizon as I count down the time until club activities begin yet again. Ever since yesterday, I haven't been able to shake the thought of her in my mind. From my mind. Ah. Sure, we see one another in class, but it's the special moments together that are most enjoyable.
You go on ahead and get us a seat. I need to get something from the lab.
Why don't I just come with you?
But then Naomi will be sat there on her own.
I suppose so, is what she said, but I really don't think Naomi would care all that much. Seeing as the three of us are now friends, even more so in our case, Naomi will be fine on her own. Naomi?
You're late.
What? Lunch has only just started.
Didn't you hear me? And where's Kiyoko?
Did joining the science club give you the urge to ask questions at any opportunity?
Did being an ass give you the urge to be an ass at any opportunity? Just answer me.
She's gone to get something from the lab. She'll be here soon. Crossing her arms as if in an attempt to stifle herself from her usual Naomi goes back to staring at her lunchbox intently. You wanted her to try it, didn't you?
Does that matter?
I'm home.
Hello.
I'm here.
That's gonna give off some vibes, isn't it, Naomi? Having approached our table as her usual energized self, Kiyoko shifts to a blush, basking in the awkward atmosphere she has herself created, yeah. Welcome home.
It was a mistake, okay?
Taking a seat by my side, Kiyoko pouts sharply towards me before returning to her usual self. Another heartwarming smile. Another opportunity to send my heart racing yet again.
Anyway, look.
Pulling out a small blue box from her bag, Kiyoko rests it on the table before popping its lid. A neatly made lunch inside. So you both made lunches then?
I wanted you to try it.
I wanted her to try it.
Ah, I see. Honestly, the situation seems pretty cliched. Yeah, it
You
does.
can have some too, I guess.
Thanks. Given that it's been hard to avoid obvious stares from some of her admirers, trying her lunch is a definite gamble. Seeing as Kiyoko asked first, and that she's my GF, trying hers seems like trying hers first seems like the better option. You know that we will go for Kyoko's packed lunch first. Kyoko's. Pushing her lunch in front of me, Kiyoko looks away with a blush, signaling what she wants to say without any words. Given that she's my GF, it'd be rude not to try hers first. Of course I'm going to try it. Taking my chopsticks towards Kiyoko's food, I watch as Naomi looks on in anguish. Clear she's jealous that I'm trying it first. This is great, Kiyoko.
What?
Really? I'm glad you like it.
Let me have some.
Snatching a fried dumpling, Naomi quickly gobbles it down without an attempt to even savor the flavour.
I love it.
Watching as Naomi continues to tuck in, Kyoko's face snaps from her usual smile to shock.
Eh? I need to eat too, you know.
Pulling the lunchbox back towards her, Kiyoko tucks into her food as Naomi stares towards me with a pensive gaze.
Well,
you want me to try yours too then?
don't eat too much. The rest is for her.
What about your share?
I'll think about that later.
Shrugging it off, I put out some of her lunch with my chopsticks. Surprisingly, as I slowly eat away, it tastes pretty good.
How is it?
It's alright.
Alright.
Let me try it.
Taking some for herself, Kiyoko slowly chews away at a small piece of sausage, yet still managing to keep herself cute. It's adorable.
This is great.
Aww.
See? At least someone liked it.
I tried not to be rude in front of my GF, you know. I never said I hated it. I thought it was pretty good.
Make yourself clearer next time.
Taking a lunchbox back, the three of us continue to eat together, enjoying the opportunity to have lunch as friends.
You're looking pretty happy.
Batting an inquisitive stare, Naomi looks towards us as she sits by herself on the other side of the table. Me or her?
Both of you.
Ah, well, after the events of yesterday, there's a lot to be happy about. I don't think telling her about it over 2 lunchboxes and a pre-packed sandwich is the best idea, yeah. About that. Briefly peering towards Kiyoko, she too looks nervous as her cheeks redden with a crimson tint.
I did it.
You did it.
You did what?
I made it onto the national roster. I've been invited to take part in a test for the top students in the country.
Wow. This is the first time I've heard of this, but it's better than I told Flare I love him. Yeah. as happy as I'd be to tell her, doing it over lunch in the middle of a crowded hall really isn't the best place. Congratulations.
Yeah. What he said.
Mm-hmm.
Neither of you seem all that impressed.
It's just... It was obvious you'd make it on there, right?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm happy for you. I really am.
Mm-hmm.
I can't deny that. But thanks.
I'm happy for you too, Kiyoko. Blown a raspberry, Kiyoko pouts back towards me. What was that for?
I knew you were happy. Jeez.
Jeez.
I can tell by your face.
Oh, I'm good to hear that she can read my emotions, but that wasn't the reaction I was expecting.
At least you won't have to train as hard compared to those races. I'd love to just sit in a chair all day.
Wow. But clearly you don't because you hate studying.
Well, I don't remember telling you that.
Yeah, but we can tell from your face that you don't like studying.
Studying is training too. I have to work really hard for this. You know?
Training of the mind.
Anyways, lunch is about to end. We should clear up.
Yep, she's right. Despite having come to an end so fast, our first lunch together as a couple sure was nice. The peaceful tranquility of friendship now something the three of us can enjoy.
Oh, Naomi. I know what he's happy about too, but it's a secret.
Aww. Heading off with her bag into a mass of students leaving the hall, Naomi sits with her chin perched in her hand as she rests against the table. An eerily real look of interest steady within her eyes.
Is that so? Well, if it's a secret, there's no point in prying.
Yeah, boy. You're saying that as if you're going to pry anyway.
Me? No. It's just that, whatever it is, it can't stay a secret forever, can it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what Kiyoko's like.
Yep. Stepping up from her seat, Naomi too clears away her lunch before slinging her bag around her shoulder.
It's just that she seems really happy around you. Don't you think?
She sure is. Is it really that obvious? Heading to my side, Naomi awaits as the funneling of students out the canteen begins to stagnate. If Kiyoko's feelings are truly that obvious, then hers too are just as blatant. You don't want to walk out alone? Come on then, let's go. It's a secret. It sure is a secret. Welcome back to the science labs. Thank you all so much for watching, folks. We'll see each other in the next time of Chemically Bonded. I'm not sure how much there is left to the game, but it is a pretty long game. Have a wonderful day and take care of yourselves.